it's a sad situation with our teens. I think that they're so sidetracked with everything, and then everything's so glorified. You know, Teen Mom.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Teen Mom today. What do you think about that show?
I think that it's horrible. I think that it's almost like a brainwashing kind of material for our teenage girls. I think it's terrible. I think it's a terrible, terrible show. It almost shows them, you know what, you can fuck up and get this fame kind of deal. Like, you know, oh, you got knocked up. Hey, try to get on Teen Mom. You know, maybe they'll take you. They've never had one in Yakima. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's a way. It's an American Idol try, kind of.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's sick.
They and the way they glow. But you see, I think the biggest systems in our country, you know, we have the pharmaceutical companies are massive. The insurance companies are massive. Those have to do with sickness and accidents. And then we have the prison complex is massive. Then we have the military is massive. And then we have our minimum wage working class, you know, underclass of working people is massive. Where do those people keep coming from? They're not coming from parents that went to Harvard. They're not even coming from necessarily immigrant families. All those people are being born by our ignorant and our poor teenage girls. The odds that a teenage girl's child, especially if it's a boy, is going to prison is up there. The fact that he'll join the military is up there. Or the fact that he will work in a minimum wage job is way up there. And so we have to keep women sort of wanting to have these babies in horrible situations of poverty, of youth, even being drug addicted or being abused. These systems need, you know, who needs a bunch of ignorant, poor people? All of those systems I just described. They all need mountains and mountains of ignorant poor. The education system doesn't. The healthcare system doesn't. They want educated people that won't get sick. But prisons, military, churches are another one. They need bags and bags of ignorant poor to constantly being born. They are anti-education. You know, boys are not going to join the military when they are born to two educated parents. It's very rare that a boy would join the military in that scenario. But so I think that this country, with teen mom shows, with all these military and gun shows, with just the general stupidity of it all, is trying to maintain the base of that sort of the ignorant poor. You know, this country is rich off of the dumb and the poor, and dumb and poor are not born; they're made, they're produced, and they're engineered. And I think Teen Mom, you know, MTV, Desperate Housewives, all this stuff is part of the system to keep engineering stupid poor people.
I gotta agree with that.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. We'd be sunk without the ignorant and the poor. I mean, it keeps America going.
So the mortgage crisis, the mortgage crisis, I don't think it was these guys saying, hey, we're evil, we're rich, we're money whores, let's pull some scams. The scams they can pull depend on how many ignorant poor there are out there. And we built up a whole lot in the early 2000s, and so they thought, you know what, let's have these fools sign these documents, because they will, and fake them out that they can have houses that are 3 times their income, and let's do it, guys, ready, and go. And they did it, because they knew the amount of ignorant poor, this is the time to strike, and they did. And who got blamed for signing the papers? The ignorant poor. Who got blamed for having to give up their house because they couldn't afford it after their payments went from $700 to $1,700? The ignorant poor got blamed. Everybody who went to jail, nobody, because the ignorant poor can't fight. They can't class action lawsuit. They can't ever do shit. So,
and they're automatically, if you're poor, you're automatically a criminal. If you are poor, you are automatically a criminal. And it's the way that everybody believes. I'll tell you right now, you drive by that welfare office and you see all them fools out there, and the first thing you're going to think is these drug-addicted, state-mooching criminals. You know, and we've been taught to believe it's the poor that are out to get you. The top, 2 percentile of the population keeps that going because it keeps the middle class scared and willing to follow anything that they say, because they're like, the poor are going to come get you. The poor are abusing our system. They are taking down this country. The poor. You know, the poor, they're going to rape your children. You know, it's always the poor, the poor, the poor. That's all anybody ever talks about. Everybody ripping off the system.
Well, here are a couple things I want to go back to. There are two things. One is one thing you said, Bahia, was trying for fucked up fame. Trying for fucked up fame, to me, I mean, in the teen mom situation, is girl, you're right, having fucked up, now wants to fuck up even more and bring a camera into her life and let the world see how fucked up her shit is. Because they ain't looking for the happy story. They're looking for... The only way they're going to even let you on the show is if your life is fucked up. It's Jerry Springer at your house.
People just love it.
Yeah.
We love to see people in misery. We love to see the people that messed up. We love it so much. I was looking at some webpage. It was like some open casting call thing. I was looking at all these different casting calls that are going on. These are the things that they want to cast you for. Is your life in clutter? Are you a hoarder? Are you big and fat and can't breathe? Are you a pregnant teenager?
Yeah, does your 13-year-old dress too sexy?
Yeah.
Are you a nigga that mumbles?
I missed the Maury special about
with mumbling niggas. Motherfucker, mumbling niggas win Oscars. Precious, Blindside, Kiss My Ass. The mumbling niggas are always on the news. They go to a neighborhood, and if you talk too well, no, they don't want you. They go get the mumbling. That's a constant.
Well, having ever seen, you know, it's really funny. Anytime I see any pro-marijuana little parades here in Yakima, it's always really funny because it's like they pull out the dirtiest dirtbag pothead hippie from way back and get all of his friends, and they gather signs saying, you know, legalize marijuana, and they look like the most jacked up, put-down individuals I've ever seen in my life. And it's like, okay, and they're representing here, and they're getting on the news. And are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
See? That's the exact same thing. So, if you, they do that kind of thing all the time. Think about how often, when there's somebody that happens in even a Latino neighborhood, they pick the most broken English person to come speak until the representative pops up. See what I'm saying? And that's why you always got to have the representative pop up, just so you don't just get dumbed off the story. Anyway, I don't want to go too far on that. But the other thing that we wrote down, that I wrote down was, so Tana, instead, to me, when you talk about the military, the churches, you know, snatching the prisons, snatching these boys up, then I guess one part of the solution will be, you know, to not be doing that shit. But I guess the other solution would be to have someone preach on the preciousness of boys.